Hello YouTube. This is George from the G&M Home Movies channel, and today I'm providing a 2-year update on my DIY solar power system. I'm going to clean these panels. I already cleaned the ones up there. They're not too terribly dirty, but I'm hoping to get a few more 100 watts of power for the winter. Now, our weather's been pretty miserable. Today is the only decent day, so I'm taking the opportunity to clean these. But I had planned to do it before winter, but the month of November was very mild, but then we had a cold snap, and so I haven't been able to do them for like a month. So today I'm finally going to clean the solar panels. And to do that, I bought this nifty soap dispenser, and so I'm using that to put some suds on the panels. And I'm using Dawn dishwashing soap because I read that if it's safe enough for baby ducks, it's safe enough for solar panels. And then I'm using this car brush to do a little mechanical cleaning action, and it's very soft. And then finally I rinse it off with this clear water, and if I can reach it, I'll do some squeegeeing. This is the first time I'm actually cleaning the panels in 2 years. I have pushed snow off of them, but I haven't really, this is the first time I'm cleaning them. But I want to take an opportunity to answer a few questions. First question I get are about these clips that hold the panels in place, and I'll take some close-up photographs of it and splice that into the video. But these are 1-inch mid clamps and end clamps. I got them on eBay from a vendor called Benny Solar, but I've seen them on other solar panel sites, that sell the equipment, and they work good. That's all the whole. The only thing in my case, I left the clamps a little bit loose. Just a little bit. And the reason for that is to give some wiggle room, because the wood, a big disadvantage of using wood for the mount is it expands and contracts with the weather. So right now we've had a lot of rain, so the wood has expanded, and some of these have gotten a little bit tight. But by loosening them up, it gives a little wiggle room so that there's not so much pressure being asserted onto the panels. Another question I get is about the building permit. Yes, I did apply for a building permit and got it approved. And I'm located pretty far off the road. You can't see the house from the road, so I'm way back here. And normally, all the projects I've done, I don't bother with a building permit. But in this case, because it's so far to the edge of my property, and it's close to our neighbor's house over there, and I knew she was not going to like it. And I knew she would complain about it. So that's why I got the permit. That way I got the permit, it was approved, it was inspected, and it's fully legal, so she really can't do anything about it. She can complain all she wants, but she can't do anything about it. It was a hassle getting the permit. Originally I had planned to build one big array with 12 panels on it, but because of the county rules on how close you can build structures to the property line, I couldn't build anything that big this close to the property line. So working with the engineers at the county, came up with a solution of building 2 smaller ones, and this way I can have it 10 foot from the property line, which puts it over there, puts a nice view of the sun, and it's working out well. Let's see, what other questions? So I'm going to go ahead and clean this lower panel while I'm thinking about other questions. I know there was another one I wanted to answer. So the other question was about the why I chose wood to build the ground mount frame, and I would have loved to have a metal frame like you know, the big 3-inch galvanized steel pipe and the unistrut type things, but I really don't have the tools and the skills to work with big heavy steel like that. Whereas with wood, I've built plenty of things with wood, so I chose to go with wood, and it's holding up well. People come ask me about having the 2x6s in the ground, but they're pressure treated, rated for ground contact, and have a 40-year warranty, so they're going to last a long time. Also, I used all these very expensive, fancy coated fasteners, so they're never going to rust. They're going to last forever. So I'm very happy with the ground mount. It was a hell of a lot of work, but it's well worth it. It's holding up great. I inspect it every now and then. So that's a story on the wood frame ground mount. Now I'm going to clean these panels. So I put an ounce of the Dawn dishwashing soap in there, and that seems to be just enough for half a dozen panels. Need to get a longer one of these. All right, that looks really good. So I'm going to go ahead and clean these other 3 panels, and then I'm going to take you into the basement to talk about the batteries and the inverter. All right, so the panels are nice and clean. That actually went better than I expected. I don't know what I was thinking. So let's see here. I'm using an app called Solar Assistant, and it's really nice. Okay, so we're generating 1,734 watts right now. The battery is up to 28%. It was completely flat because we had 3 or 4 days straight of rain and overcast. So finally today we're getting a little bit of sun back. The battery is clawing its way back, and so now it's 18 watts. If the clouds clear a little bit more, it'll go up to 3,000, 4,000. The system is rated for 5,500. I've seen it occasionally touch that. Actually, I've seen it occasionally go above 5,500 watt because they're bifacial, and I guess it's getting some reflection from the back. I hope so, anyway. So the panels are performing very good. I'm pleased with that, even though I don't consistently get 5,500. They're working very well. All right, so I'm going to get inside and talk about the batteries and the inverter and the dashboard. Well, here we are in what my wife calls the engine room. Got the inverter in the battery bank and all my circuit breaker panels. So the system's working good. I'm pleased with it. The EG4, the manufacturer, I don't believe makes this guy anymore, and I think they provided their last software update. I checked it probably 6 months or so ago, and they had not updated. So, but this firmware is working just fine, so I'm not worried about that. The system has a feature that when the batteries drain down to 10%, it automatically switches over to grid power, which is great. It's very seamless. And in fact, just today we were running on grid power, but now the batteries have finally come back up. When the battery charge level goes above 20%, then it kicks back over to solar panel, solar power. So this is rated at 6,000 watts. I have overloaded it. It was probably around Thanksgiving. My wife was cooking dinner. She had the kitchen oven going and a bunch of crock pots, and she turned on the microwave oven, and that kicked it above 6,000 watts. Fortunately, we didn't blow any circuits or nothing, but the thing did alarm. It told us that we were over, so we postponed the microwave oven, and everything was fine. So yeah, so the inverter is working well. So the battery bank is holding up. This battery has an alarm right now. I suspect because it's so low. I try to keep an eye on these, and usually the state of charge, SOC, state of charge is pretty much the same in all of them. I consider that a good sign. That means that they're all aging the same, except for this one only has one LED, which means 25%, while the others are flashing the second one. So I'm hoping we get some more sun out there, we'll get some more power and charge these things back up. But got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 batteries, and I forget what it adds up to. It says 5,120. Well, it's 100 amp hours, so it's 500 amp hours of power. And unfortunately, that only gets me 2 days of reserve power. 2 days. Got gigajoules of power and only lasts 2 days. Which usually is okay, but we've had consecutive cloudy and rainy days, and so we had to kick over to grid power. Check that out, is that all right, Kate? Speaking of grid power, so my my off-grid solar panel circuits, the panel's completely full. The last one I installed is this one right here. It says pond pump, and what I'm hoping to do is kind of use it as a somewhat of a dump load. I got a project going on where I want to pump water out of a creek into a pond and have it recirculate to keep the water fresh. So I'm going to use solar power for that. So in bright sunny summer days I can turn that on and use solar power to pump the water. And that goes up over here into a box, which I have some wires that used to be my original 12-volt system, and but it's now used for the solar for the pond pump. I still got my funky. Hey, Sammy, get out of there. So I still have my funky pigtail thing here. Well, side note, I did take the cover off of the inverter, and because as you can hear, it makes a buzzing noise, and I thought something might be vibrating in there. And the warranty, I'm sure, is over by now, so I took the cover off. It's very well built. It's like I'm impressed with the quality, the build quality, but I didn't want to touch anything because I realized that that's way over my head. I don't want to try to tighten or loosen anything, so I just put the cover back on. But while it was open, I did see the infamous neutral bonding screw in there, and that brings me to why I have this funky arrangement here, because I want to make sure that my neutral is always isolated, and can't figure that thing out with the instructions and the videos that they provided about the mobile and stationary applications and the bonding screw. So by using this arrangement here, I'm sure I can be confident that my neutrals are always either all on solar or all on grid, which makes me feel good. So overall, I'm happy with the system. I wish I could afford more batteries, but that's the way it goes. So the last thing I want to talk about in this video is the dashboard. This is Solar Assistant. So by the way, I got this old secondhand Chromebook that I'm using here in the kitchen so I can easily access Solar Assistant. Also, I have. Man, I guess I don't have it. I also access Home Assistant, but that's a whole different story. So Solar Assistant. So right now, the battery is at 34%. We're generating 1,465 watts. 1,100 of that's going into the battery. 185 is going to the load. So I hope the sun keeps shining, because tomorrow's supposed to rain again. I'd like to see the battery have a greater state of charge. Over here on the graph, all this red is utility power that I had to buy because the batteries went dead, or they went down to 9%, not dead. The machine won't let them go dead. And this yellow over here is the solar power that we've captured this afternoon. So starting around 11 a.m. we finally got some sun, and and the vast majority of that's going into the batteries. So that's it. It's going to be cloudy again tomorrow. Battery probably go dead again, but I need a couple good days of sun to get these things topped off. So that's it for this video. I hope you find something useful. It's been 2 years with my solar panel system, and for the most part, it's great. Our utility electric bill is very low, although these past couple of weeks I've had heaters running and had the system shut down because we were away for a few days. And our utility actually sent us a text message saying that we were using 66% more electric than usual. So I'm glad we're getting back on solar. But anyway, so that's it for this video. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.